Visual now. All right. So good afternoon, all of you. Look at the questions. I am very happy after seeing this question. Everyone, all the questions are directly from their, notes or booklets. So these are the questions which will be present almost everywhere. So what matters here is who has got the better presentation. All right, who has got the better structure, that is going to differentiate. All right, so look at this. I wanted to show you something, some of the, we also have, if you see our test series, we have the similar questions on the significance of the PPP in railway. We have the questions on this food processing sector. We have the questions on this terrorism and organized crime linkages. We have the questions on cyber security measures, and there are other questions like the PDS reforms. With respect to Santa Kumar committee and other reforms, we have already discussed all this through our test series. All right. In science and technology, James Webb telescope has already been studied. Hmm? Look at this. Look at this. The James Webb telescope. Through this is our notes, which is there. All right. And after that, we have got Hubble telescope, which was before James Webb telescope. And there is a comparative analysis between these two, which has been discussed. All right. And then I wanted to show you look at this. Yesterday also, I have told you about this energy mix diagram, and on the basis of that renewable energy diagram, the percentage of renewable energy. So this diagram has been used twice in this paper. This will be used here. I'll show you the question. Question number 12. Look at this question number 12. All right. In introduction part of the question number 12, this diagram will be used. All right. Then yeah, please go and check. Look at this. This is a diagram. Direct hit. Direct hit. Organized crime, terrorism linkage wheel. All right. Look at this diagram. This is organized crime, terrorism linkage wheel. Can you see that? Can you see that? And directly asked where it will be used. This is the class. This is the notes from class which we are discussing. And after then we'll come to the questions. Don't worry. Look at this question number 9. Question number 9. Can you see that this describe the linkages between terrorists and organized crime that exists at national and transnational level? Can you use the diagram which is shown there? Directly, there is a direct hit, and if you are using this diagram, trust me, it is going to be very, very helpful. You know, if you are prepared about it, you will save your time, and you know you will be able to score better than others. There are other things which I have discussed. The complete discussion is there. Linkages of organized crime with terrorism directly, coexistence, cooperation, and convergence. These three, these are also on the basis of diagrams which is there, right? And for there you will have the common enemy as a state. So these diagrams, if you are using there, so it will be having a good effect. And there are evidences which has been given. There are differences which has been given between organized crime and terrorism. The question is direct hit from the classroom. All right. I wanted to show you look at this question. Question number 20. Question number 20. Naxalism is a social, economic, and developmental issue manifesting as a violent internal security threat. In this context, discuss the emerging issues and suggest a multi-layered strategy to menace Naxalism. Look at this. Look at this. Oh. Look at this. We have given a beautiful diagram illustration. The development of left-wing extremism in phases. All right. And then some causes. The multi-layered strategy is given here. All right. Some of the phrases which has been given in the case of this left-wing extremism. So for question number 20, I think this content is very much sufficient with respect to that. All right. Then I wanted to show you some of the other things which people will claim. There are these kind of questions will be present everywhere, but it matters that where you are getting the better structure, where you are getting the the best idea of presentation. All right. So Look at this with respect to this global warming and climate change. Look at this. Have I given this IPCC diagram? This is the IPCC diagram. And it's a very standard diagram. It is asking about the question is asking about, look at this, the question, look at the question. Question is asking about the impacts of climate change here. Global warming. Explain the, mention its effect on the global climate. So the moment you understood about this, its effect on the global climate, you can see, you can create this diagram and you will have the advantage over others. What I wanted to say, this diagram can directly be created. Can directly be created. All right. Then I also told you about the vicious cycle which is created by the climate change. All right. Right, some of the regions and some of the effects, this effects directly it has been asked. All right, what are the effects? I have given you negative effects as well as positive effects also. Some of the positive effects also, and negative effects. Under that, I have given you the the topographical aspects and the climate aspects, economy aspects, and society aspects. There are different aspects under which it has been provided. All right. So this has been a direct hit. All right. So without wasting time, there are other questions which you will find also. Okay. We have not moved to agriculture. If you go to agriculture also, there will be the questions which is directly from the paper. Look at this. Did we talk about the food processing industries? What? The SWOT analysis, strength, opportunities. We had talked about that. I wanted to show you this. The data which I have provided can be used. Look at this. For the potential of food processing industries, we have talked about that. The producer, rice, tea, fisheries, it will start from here only. All right. So this data, if you remember, you can talk about food processing industries. And the different the structure of backward linkages and forward linkages. With respect to that, you will have institutional, infrastructural, and extension services. All right. So things are covered. This paper is a scoring paper. It's going to be a scoring paper. Only one question probably, and that also can be managed with respect to if you have got the basic knowledge, that can be managed. All right. So let us begin the discussion now. All right. Let us begin the discussion now. So this paper is going to be a scoring. Everybody is going to perform well, but those who will be getting the top marks, that will be decided by the way you structure, the way you give the example, the way you present your data. These are the ways. So first question, why is public-private partnership required in infrastructural projects? Why it is required? All right, examine the role of PPP model in redevelopment of railway stations in India. So what has to be examined? Role of PPP model in redevelopment of railway stations in India. All right, so it is talking about railway stations and PPP required in infrastructural projects. All right, so you will have to say, why is PPP model required? Bolo? Because of the because of the inefficiencies which are present in the present system, and because of certain good things which are certain aspirations which are there because of the PPP. All right. So you will say, you will start like this. You'll begin like this. Public-private partnership is the recent approach of investment approach of investment in Indian economy. Recent approach or recent models of investment in Indian economy. All right. And then you will have to talk about regions for PPP model. You can also give certain data if you have any. Okay, leave it. So you'll say that regions. Immediately after that, you will come regions for this PPP in infrastructural projects. So first, because of the present status needs aggressive PPP model presentation in this, or aggressive shifting to PPP model in infrastructural projects. So what is the problem in present day infrastructural projects? Cost overrun, time overrun. All right, infrastructure delay or the failures of infrastructure. Yes, the poor quality of service, the environmental concerns such as green infrastructure is not there, smart infrastructure or technological lag which is there. So these are the concerns with respect to the infrastructure projects. If you talk about the status of infrastructure, is bringing a lot of infrastructure projects, all right, a lot through regional connectivity scheme, through Bharatmala project, through Sagarmala project, all right, through this Gati Shakti scheme. So all these are for the infrastructure projects. So there are so many projects which are there. So to reduce overburdening of government, to reduce the burden, complete burden on government, all right, what this PPP project is required. And then you come towards this, what PPP projects will bring, why it is required, because it will bring skill, it will bring new investment, it will bring experience, it will bring technology, all right. And moreover, other points like what, all the capitalist or heavy invested countries like United States and Europe is having what, the is following, all the developed countries are following the models of PPP. And it will also attract more FDI in India. That's true. Yes, you'll say that timely completion of projects will be there, proper maintenance will be there. So there are so many points. I think 10-15 points we have written here only. Examine the role of PPP model in development of railway stations in India. So you'll have to examine the role. Directly, you give the role of PPP model in development of railway stations. So number one role in development of station infrastructure. There in station infrastructure, if I say sub parts of a station infrastructure will be what, the water facility, sanitation facility, the disabled friendly infrastructure which is there. All right. And then the second thing is in providing utility services like food, the stalls, other stalls which is there. Third thing is in management of railway stations. Third thing is in management of railway station. What will be the role? And everywhere you will have to write about the role. Role is there in managing railway stations. All right. And fourth thing is what? In management of what? In management of websites, technical gadgets, etc. So you have stated about that in all these places, Government of India is already trying to engage with multiple private sectors for management of railway stations. But where it is not engaging with private sector, because it has to be examined in railway operations and railway security. In railway operations and railway security, private sector is not being engaged with the government sector. So PPP projects are not coming in railway operations. So railway station modernization can be done with the help of what? PPP projects, but not railway operations. So that is security aspect. So that has to be with the RPF. RPF privatized. नहीं है ना? देखो ये, if I say you go to SIS guard, probably they will have the salary of 15,000, 10 to 15,000. They will have the salary. But if you go to the RPF, the constable, what will be the salary? 40, 50,000. All right. And imagine what is the qualification of that? 10th pass. I'm not demeaning anybody. Railway is one of the largest employment provider. All right. So yet railway can save a lot of money by engaging this the private sector in that. All right. So by contracting out this thing. All right. But why railway is not doing that? Because security is a very important aspect. Railway is a critical infrastructure, and security plays a very important aspect, which should not be privatized, which should be controlled by the government. So that's why it is there. Did you understand that? So conclusion. What is the conclusion you can write? Conclusion you can write. Government should carefully engage with public through public in infrastructural projects through public-private partnership. Through public-private partnership. All right. And all these PPP models should be integrated with national infrastructural pipeline. All right. Next question. Is inclusive growth possible under the market economy? State the significance of financial inclusion in achieving economic growth in India. So you know about that, this question. This question is very easy question. Inclusive growth possible. What do you mean by inclusive growth? You can start this question with the definition of inclusive growth. Inclusive growth is a paradigm of growth where the benefits of growth is accessible, available, affordable to all with adequate awareness among all. With adequate awareness among all to what? To utilize its benefits. So this is the different benefits of inclusive growth, or this is what is the inclusive growth. So the question arises, is inclusive growth possible under market economy? What is this question all about? Think. Did I tell you about Sen Bhagwati model? So isn't it talking about the Sen model? Isn't it talking about the sorry, isn't it talking about the Bhagwati model? Isn't it talking about the invisible hand? The invisible hand, which I have talked about that. The classical economist Adam Smith. Yes. So Adam Smith talked about what? You can start with that. Adam Smith talked about, then we'll some of the theoretical aspects. If you know about that. Then we'll come to the what in free market economy, in the economy of laissez-faire. All right, what will happen that there is an invisible hand which works for the inclusive growth. All right, trickle down theory also talked about that. Trickle down approach also talks about that only. All right, that the benefits of growth will trickle down to the last person, standing in the queue. All right, so you talk about this the Adam Smith's invisible hand, you talk about this the free market economy and trickle down theory, you talk about certain models like growth pole, it is also talking about that. You talk about the Bhagavati model, which is also believing, these are the believers of inclusive growth possible under market economy. So these are the models which you have talked. Now I wanted to give you some of the realistic examples, some of the practical example. All right, so in free market economy, what will happen? The market players will bring investment supporting infrastructure, all right, and that investment, infrastructure, the facilities will be helpful in upliftment of the downtrodden section, So this is how inclusive growth will be possible. But I'll say no, it is not possible. Why? Because of Amartya Sen model. Trickle down is a failure in India. All right, trickle down approach is a failure in India. Why? Because of the huge diversity. All right, because of the social justice approach. Once we have written the theories, so we have to counter it by theories also. So social justice approach. Who has given the idea of social justice? Rawls. John Rawls. All right. So these are the approach, and you will say that free market economy. Now the realistic part of it, the free market economy will bring investment, but that is more quantitative. All right, can address the concerns of quantitative development, but not the concerns of qualitative aspect. The GDP might increase, but what about HDI? The question on increase in HDI will still remain the question. All right, then comes state the significance of financial inclusion in achieving economic growth in India. So what do you mean by financial inclusion? Like inclusive growth, I told you about the benefits of growth: available, accessible, awareness, and affordable to everybody. Similarly, financial services should be within the reach of everybody, should be accessible, available, and affordable for everybody. So that is financial inclusion. All right, with the 4A you can just tell. So significance, you will have to talk about significance of financial inclusion in achieving economic growth in India. So significance in structural change. Number one, you give the structure. Significant in structural change. Significance in structural change, or structural significance, you can say operational significance, and then what? Policy and administrative significance of financial inclusion in what? Economic growth. What is the structural significance? The digitalization or direct benefit transfer, economic structure will move from unorganized to more organized domain. All right, so this is the number one significance of financial inclusion. And then operational significance, I'll tell you about the effective implementation of policies, effective transition of funds from administration to the citizen. Other policies like कोई भी policy लिख लो, National Food Security Act, for that matter ICDS, or for that matter this MG Narega, whatever policies and acts will be there, that will be transacted better with the help of financial inclusion. Programs of social justice programs will be also be there. So pension schemes, Man Dhan Yojana, Jan Dhan Yojana, all these things will be better with the financial inclusion. So it will help in achieving economic growth by enhancing. Next point is enhancement of capability of the citizen. All right. So it will create a framework for feedback in the economy. All right. Framework for setting up accountability in the economy. Did you write 5-6 points? 5 point ho gaya ki nahi hua? So then conclusion. What will be the conclusion? Conclusion is, after 12th 5-year plan, or this could have been written in the beginning also. In 11th 5-year plan, India started explicit focus on inclusive growth. India started and exclusive focus on what? The inclusive growth. Okay. All right. So in conclusion, what you can say? What you can say that what you can say in conclusion that this inclusive growth paradigm will be leading us to the sustainable development growth paradigm. All right. So this will help in achievement of sustainable development goals. All right. Next question. There you go. What are the major challenges of PDS in India? Public distribution system in India. Major challenges of PDS in India. So bolo. All right. How can it be made effective and transparent? Effective and transparent. So there are 3 questions basically in this on 10 marker. All right. So you have to write at least 10 to 15 points in this. All right. So you talk about, they'll say that India's PDS system. Start the introduction. PDS system in India includes procurement, storage, distribution of food grains. So major challenges of PDS system. तुरंत आप उसमें क्या बनाएंगे? You'll have to write major challenges of PDS system. There is challenges with respect to backward linkage and challenges with respect to the forward linkage. All right. So backward linkage challenges. What will be there? The poor procurements, overflowing godowns, poor procurement standards, overflowing godowns. In backward linkage challenges will be there. All right. Overflowing godowns and rise of middleman, poor farm to this godown linkage, poor farm to godown linkage, and this open storage. Have you written this post harvest management? You start with the poor post harvest management here only. All right. And then forward linkages. What will be the forward linkages? Forward linkages will be with respect to the storage and transportation. So storage may will have wastage of grains. All right. Presence of manual labor. Here you can give the data also. All right. In the beginning only, that Santa Kumar committee has recommended that 45% of the grain are wasted. In the beginning, in the introduction only, you can write 45% of the grain, approximately 45% of the grains are wasted in our present PDS system. So in forward linkages, you will have the what? This the wastage of grain, the issues of rodents, moisture with respect to the godowns or storage techniques, the presence of middleman, exclusion and inclusion error in distribution or targeting beneficiaries. Okay, how many points you have written? 10-15 points नहीं लिख दिया. Okay, you do not need to explain that. Then how can it be made effective? How can it be made effective? So for that also Santa Kumar committee has recommended certain things. All right, Santa Kumar committee has recommended. So what Santa Kumar committee has recommended? There are 4 structure which you can give. All right. Number 1, with respect to the procurement. With respect to the procurement. All right. So outsourcing the procurements. Outsourcing the procurement. You know, direct benefit transfer to the farmers with respect to the procurement. So there are 4 structure for making it effective. All right. So procurement effectiveness, and then you'll have this what? Storage effectiveness, and then you'll have this transport effectiveness, and you'll have this what? Distribution effectiveness. So 2 points here. So procurement, no what? Open-ended procurement. No open-ended procurement should be there. Stringent quality checks and gradation of grains during procurement. Storage. In storage, you will have to do the public-private partnership in storage. Bringing public-private partnership in storage. And then silos has to be created. Silos has to be created. Just a second. All right. So we talked about the storage efficiency. How storage efficiency will be there? By focusing upon public-private partnership. All right. Storage in silos and in transportation. You know, you have the Santa Kumar committee has recommended about creation of gunny bags. All right. Instead of the containers instead of gunny bags. Why containers? Because in gunny bags, the manual laborers are actually what? You know, using the hooks, forks, and with the forks, there are a lot of wastage which is there. So it is stated about using containers and use of forklifts rather than this what? Manual labor. Use of inland waterways. Use of inland waterways. And for distribution, it has stated about giving 6 months ration at once. All right. And direct cash should be given to the women of the household. So these are the distribution efforts. So when you have given this structure, look at this. Your answers become you know, the beautiful, the different. And what about transparency? So for transparency, it has given end-to-end computerization, color coding of PDS vehicles, all right, digitalization of a storage system, digitalization of storage system. All right. And for transparency, again, you will have this what? This direct benefit transfers. Direct benefit transfers, presence of citizen charter in every this fair price shops or this PDS system. All right, citizen charter in the PDS system. So all these are the ideas. All right. So conclusion. Reforming PDS system. Reforming PDS system for its what? For its efficiency and transparency can help in solving the problems of hunger in India and thereby helps in meeting the goals of sustainable development goal of goal number 1 and goal number 2, poverty and hunger. All right. Elaborate the scope and significance of food processing industry in India. So I have given you the data about the food processing industry. So you can talk about from here, you can talk about this. India is the 4th largest producer of India is the 4th largest exporter of the meat, 2nd largest producer of vegetable and fruits, and for rice it is the largest exporter, and tea 2nd largest exporter in the world, and fisheries it is largest exporter of fish products in the world. All right, and India is the 2nd largest producer in fruits and vegetables, cereals. Here I am just adding. This is fisheries, cereals, and vegetable and fruits. So it will be 2nd largest producer. So this is indicating towards what? A massive potential of food processing industry. So you'll say food processing industry in India is a sunrise industry. It's a sunrise industry, and it is what? It is indicating towards a forward linkages to our agriculture ecosystem. Forward linkage to our agriculture ecosystem. All right. So scope of food processing industries. What will be the scope of food processing industries? Scope of food processing industries will be what? Can you tell me about the scope with respect to the geography? All right. Can you tell me about the scope with respect to the geography or physiography? So this is 100 centimeter ISO height. This region and this region will have what? Organic farming and horticulture based this food processing industries, and this region will have this specifically rice wheat system based industries. All right, and this region will have jowar, bajra, ragi, so cereals, pulses, oils based industries. Oils based industries. All right, and you will have some of the coastal regions. You will have the marine aquaculture or this fishery based industries will be there, based FBI. All right, so this is how you can write about this. This is the scope with respect to the different physiography in India. All right, scope with respect to physiography. All right, we are talking about the scope. All right, and then we'll be talking about the scope with respect to the export. Can we talk about the scope with respect to the export? Scope with respect to the agricultural diversification. Agricultural system, if we talk about the agricultural diversification, so scope with respect to agricultural diversification will be there. So scope in export, scope in with respect to agricultural agri diversification, and scope with respect to what? Specifically blue revolution. Ongoing blue revolution is there. All right, and the cattle population, which is huge. India is having one of the largest cattle population. So you can say about that in export, can it is predicted that the compound annual growth rate of food processing industry will be how much? Around 11% per year. Around 11% per year. All right. All right. With agricultural diversification, it will have the what? The diversification of value addition. So choices will be created. Creation of choice. Choice creation will be there. All right. Choices will be created. All right. Blue revolution, it can also help in doubling farmers' income. That is not the scope that will be coming under the significance. Let's talk about the significance. Significance. So significance for Indian economy. Significance for different stakeholders. Significance for Indian economy. So contribution of agriculture sector may increase with respect to the rising food processing sector. Doubling farmers' income. Next point. Third point, current account deficit will be there. Nutritional security will be better. Nutritional security. So in attaining sustainable development goal of goal number 2, are you understanding my point? So conclusion. What will be the conclusion? Did you write? Have you created a diagram? You have written 3 questions and I think 15-20 points is there. So you can write about food processing sectors can act as the new growth centers. Food processing sectors can act as the new growth centers for development of the rural region in India. Rural region in India. All right. So food processing sector can be. So food processing sector can help in reducing development disparity and bringing this what balanced regional development in India. Next question. The increase in life expectancy in the country has led to newer health challenges in community. What are those challenges and what steps need to be taken to meet them? So do you know about the life expectancy? If I say about life expectancy, what is the diagram do you think is coming in your mind? Do you think that if I say there are different phases of life expectancy, so it will be around 30 till 1950s. So it will be around 30 till 1950, just before independence, and after then it started increasing, and it will go till presently. How much is there? Around 70. All right, this is what? This is I am taking 1950, and this is this is present to 2022. So this is the life expectancy which is there. All right, if we talk about that, here you'll have this a very small prism which will be there. India's prism will be like this, and now the prism is like this. The height has increased. This height is indicating towards what? Increased life expectancy. Look at this, how I am presenting increased life expectancy. So this increased life expectancy, has increased the dependency ratio. You know about that dependency ratio? Old age population. So the problems, the new health concerns which has increased with respect to what? Disease, with respect to the new diseases which are coming up, communicable disease and non-communicable disease burden. All right, so disease, then third is some disabilities, old age disabilities specifically. All right, and the geriatric care. All right, it is saying about what is that? Look at this, newer health challenges in community. What are the newer health challenges? So newer diseases which is coming up through communicable disease, non-communicable disease, disability, and dementia. What is dementia? Sleeplessness, or a lot of old age disease, dementia, Parkinson's, all these diseases which are coming up. So India is, through, according to Lancet report, India is becoming the what? Diabetes capital of the world. And the burden of diabetes is reflected with the old age population. All right. Through communicable disease, you'll have what kind of communicable disease? Rising instances of multi-drug resistance tuberculosis, multi-drug resistance tuberculosis, even this corona has severely impacted what? Severely impacted old age populations. All right, the larger the life, there are more chances to have disability. All right, and expansive geriatric care which needs secondary and tertiary treatment, All right, some of the special diseases like dementia, Parkinson disease, all right, has come up. New health challenges in community. So what are these challenges? So new health challenges, what are these challenges? So let's talk about these challenges in the form of what? Infrastructural, institutional. These are with respect to the stakeholders which we have talked about, old age. So otherwise there will be other challenges like what? Increased per capita out of pocket expenditure. And then the poor availability of infrastructure which is there. All right, and poor sensitivity among the people towards this old age, this health related problems, concerns. So these are the challenges. What steps are needed to tackle them? What steps? So if I say this infrastructure based steps, the policy perspective steps, and civil society organization engagement. So multi stakeholders approach. So three approaches which will be there. Infrastructure will be what? Better geriatric care infrastructure should be created. Policies like Ayushman Bharat, insurance based what? Healthcare services. Right to health as what? Should be created as a new policy on the lines of right to education, on the lines of right to education, and multiple engagement of civil society organizations, private sector, and society at large. These are the, these are the ways ahead which has to be there. So conclusion, increase in life expectancy. What is the conclusion? Conclusion will be increase in life expectancy, or increased life expectancy can be utilized as a demographic resource, as a demographic resource. All right, if the health burden associated with this life expectancy what are tackled in the best possible way. Next question, look at this. Each year a large amount of plant material, cellulose, is deposited on the surface of planet Earth. What are the natural processes this cellulose undergoes before yielding carbon dioxide, water, and other end products? So this is what this is a questions from the plant biology. All right, this cellulose is a material which will be present in what? This yes, anybody wants to talk anything? All right, so what will happen with respect to the cellulose? So there will have to be a microbial processes which will be there. Yes, cellulose will be decomposed. So cellulose are the fundamental material which will be present in the plant. All right, and this cellulose will be degraded to glucose and ultimately into what? This carbon dioxide and this. So what are the microbial processes which will be there? Microbial processes that will be hydrolysis. First is hydrolysis of solid cellulose into this is beta D this cellobiose. All right, so that means what? This cellulose will be converted into beta D cellobiose. All right, and then again you will have second level hydrolysis of this beta D cellobiose, and here you will have CH2O. What is this? Formaldehyde, or CH2O will be what? It will be converted into organic acids along with CO2 along with hydrogen. All right, and then this hydrogenotrophic methanogenesis. Yes, this is the thing which is happening. So you'll have to 4H2. So how to tackle this kind of questions? You just know about the cellulose being the fundamental particle of the plant. You can write about that, and you can talk about through what? Degradation or through this decomposition of that. You do not fight for 10 marks. You fight for 1 or 2 marks, and you give 1 or 2 minutes. That's all. All right. So these are the natural processes which are undergoes before yielding that. All right. So you will have to write here, understanding these processes and trying to replicate these processes Trying to replicate these processes in laboratory can help in making can help in bringing or can help in more research and development R&D in the field of science and in the field of plant biology. Next question, this question: discuss in detail photochemical smog, emphasizing its formation, effects and mitigation. Explain this Gothenburg protocol. So this is very simple question, 10 marker. So photochemical smog, how it is created? So I told you that ozone in stratosphere is very good for us, but why it is dangerous? Because it creates photochemical smog. So photochemical smog will not only be because of the ozone, what vehicular pollution, water vapor, ground level ozone, along with this the dust particles and ultraviolet radiations will be creating this PAN, peroxyl nitrate, formaldehyde, PAN material and peroxyl nitrate and this formaldehyde. So some of the equations, if you can write, that would be very good. All right. So this NO2, which is nitrogen dioxide, will be converted into nitrogen oxide plus oxide, this oxygen radical, and this oxygen will be meeting with will be creating this ground level ozone, and this ground level ozone will be meeting with CH4 plus O2. So 3 CH4 plus 2 O3 equal to, it will be resulting into the formaldehyde 3 CH2O or plus 3 H2O. All right. So formaldehyde will be created, and similarly other hydrocarbons will meet with this ozone in order to create peroxyl nitrate. So this peroxyl nitrate will be there. All right. And this peroxyl nitrate is creating the smog-like condition. So this is the smog-like condition which will be there. All right. Okay. Thank you. So formation, did you know about the conditions for formation will be what? The presence of ground level ozone, the vehicular pollution, the presence of water vapor, and presence of light. It will not be in the dark days. All right. Ultraviolet rays will be the acting as a catalyst for this reaction of creation of the effects. What are the effects? So effect on the city, number one, congestion, visibility, human health, different things will be affected. So it will increase congestion or decrease congestion? Increase congestion. Why? It will have the hazy condition which will be there. It will create a hazy condition. All right. Visibility will reduce it. It will be irritant for the eye. It will be creating irritation for the eyes. All right. It can create the skin disease. It can create skin disease. All right. So these are the effects. Mitigation. What are the mitigation? Mitigation will be what? Measurement of the pollution. Basically, all the pollutions are coming together to create photochemical smog. Photochemical smog is a secondary type of pollution. All right. It is not primary pollution, but it is secondary type of pollution. And it's mitigation measures. What will be the mitigation measures? What will be the mitigation measures? Bolo. Mitigation measures will be with respect to the administration, prediction, administration, the intervention of technology, social forestry. Administrative measures will be what? The administrative guidelines, graded action plan. What happens in Delhi during Diwali? Abhi aane wala hai. There will be photochemical smog. So what will happen? The graded action plan, odd, even, and this kind of things will be there. All right. So this graded action plans would be there. Graded action plans would be there. All right. right? And then what? Through administration, through technological intervention, in prediction, smog towers are being included. You know about that? So these smog towers will be what? Filtering the air. So, and social forestry, extension forestry, roadside forestry should be there. So that should be reducing the excess pollution which is there. Excess pollutions will be reduced. If we talk about the Gothenburg Protocol, so Gothenburg Protocol is a protocol under United Nations, all right, for tackling acidification, eutrophication, and ground level ozone. All right. This protocol, under this protocol, the ceilings at the national level, ceilings, national emission ceilings will be there. All right. It will also provide graded action plan. The it will also emphasize on creating the dedicated authority for tackling or for looking after these emissions which are there. These emissions like nitrous oxide and sulfur dioxide, ozone. Clear? So this is Gothenburg Protocol. It is basically to tackle the ground level ozone. Ultimately, it will have the impact or tackling on this photochemical smog. So conclusion, what will be the conclusion? Photochemical smog is the major pollution issue, which is hampering the sustainable urbanization. So government, private sector, and community should come together. Government, private sector, and community should come together for tackling this photochemical smog. Clear? Making sense? On urgent basis, you last में ये भी लगाएंगे on urgent basis, or incidences of photochemical smog on urgent basis. Explain the mechanism on an occurrence of cloud burst in the context of Indian subcontinent. Discuss two recent examples. I have several times discussed that. What is the mechanism of cloud burst? So cloud burst is a phenomena which is indicating towards what? Excessive relative humidity resulting into sudden downpour. Excessive relative humidity in the cloud resulting into the sudden and heavy downpour in the region. All right. So mechanism, can you draw this diagram? Did I tell you about this diagram? I have told you. Simple. So recent cloud burst will be there during Amarnath Yatra, and before that you will have in Dehradun, Manali, and in Jammu and Kashmir floods. Uttarakhand floods will be because of the cloud burst only. All right. So what is the region? This is the orographic barrier. What is the barrier? Orographic barrier. And intense low pressure creation is there. Along with that, there will be sudden upliftment, and there will be what? Creation of this. This is what? This is cumulonimbus clouds which will be there. So in cumulonimbus clouds which will be there, and continuous obstruction is there. So there will be accumulation of cumulonimbus clouds, and that will be resulting into relative humidity expanding more than 100%, and that is resulting into heavy downpour. No, there it will be supported. The cloud burst will be supported by the low pressure in the below. All right, and then orographic barrier is also there. So through orographic barrier, local winds, and the most important thing for cloud burst is cloud being trapped between the, the mountains. All right. So there are three, four mountains which are there, or one mountain can do that. All right. Let's say this northeast region, you'll have Garo Khasi Jayantia, and here you'll have Sivalik range and this Evor Mismi hills. So here also you'll have funnel shape mechanism, trapped mechanism. So this region is also very much prone towards cloud burst. All right. So different hills which are there in Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and because of those hills, you will have the cloud which will be trapped, and there will be sudden downpour, heavy downpour, that is resulting into the cloud burst. And this cloud burst will be reflected into what? Lake outburst, water streams outburst. What is the question? Look at this. Mechanism and occurrence of cloud burst in context of Indian subcontinent. So when did the locations which are prone to cloud burst in India? So which locations do you think? Himalayas, northeast Himalayas. Is Western Ghat prone to what? This cloud burst? Yes. Why not? It will have orographic barrier. It will try to come. So western part of Western Ghat, where you will have 200 centimeter, more than 200 centimeter rainfall. So you'll have, it will be prone to this cloud burst. All right. Very less proneness is there, but it is prone to cloud burst. Why not? Yes. So create a map, indicate the areas which are prone to cloud burst. Generally, it will not happen in leeward side. It will happen in windward side. All right. So you talked about the mechanism. Mechanism is sudden upliftment, the massive cloud creation with respect to the cumulonimbus cloud, and this relative humidity expansion, and then heavy downpour that will be resulting into the cloud burst. Occurrence, if we talk about the occurrence, so number one, we talked about the spatial occurrence. Now it is time for temporal occurrence. Which is the time do you think is the most suitable time for the cloud burst? Monsoon time only. It is monsoon time, pre-monsoon to monsoon time. That means what? That means July, June, July to September. This is the time period where India will witness maximum number of cloud bursts. Did you talk about the temporal occurrence? Discuss two recent examples. Recently, Amarnath route cloud burst, which is there, and in Uttarakhand, Pithoragarh cloud burst. There are so many examples which I am talking about. Recent Uttarakhand floods or Jammu and Kashmir floods, which will be there, will be because of the cloud burst only. So you have talked about two examples. Then conclusion. Integrating the understanding about the cloud burst mechanism. Integrating the understanding about the cloud burst mechanism in context of Indian subcontinent. Can help us in mitigation of the disasters associated with it. Next question. Discuss the types of organized crimes. Describe the linkages between terrorist and organized crime that exist at national and transnational levels. So you know about organized crime. This question directly has been, tackled in the class. So I'll be telling you about that. So whenever they ask you about the types, and let's say you know or you do not know the exact types, you do not have to be very exact, but as far as possible, you can talk about types on the basis of nature of crime, types on the basis of place of occurrence. This kind of things you can talk. look at this. So, United Nations Convention Against Organized Transnational Organized Crime has stated that more than 3 or more persons, if engaged in a group activity to obtain some material benefit, so that will be what? That will be the organized crime. And types of organized crime will be what? You will have to talk about this only, this type. Organized crime with respect to other, this crime linkages, so coexistent type of crimes, cooperative crimes, and convergence type of crime. All right. So this is not just with respect to terrorism, but this will be with respect to left-wing extremism or any other thing which will be there. All right. And then on the basis of its nature, types on the basis of its nature, you'll have terror financing, narco-terrorism, this money laundering, human trafficking, extortion, all these things will be there. This organized crime, this one is there, this black hole syndrome. We have discussed about this black hole syndrome, where drugs, terrorism, and human chaos, all these three are mixed at one place. So that will be black hole syndrome. All right. And then we talked about money laundering. All these are the types of organized crime. All right. So two wage on the basis of the interlinkages. So, cooperation, coordination, and convergence, or coexistence, cooperation, and convergence. These three you'll have. Then you write about that: narco terrorism, terror financing. All right. Extortion, money laundering. All right. So all these are the types of organized crime. All right. And then next part of the question is directly dealt here, that how terrorism is linked with this organized crime terrorism linkage wheel. So narco terrorism, money laundering, and external security threats. You'll have a state sponsored terrorism, use of illegal border army, terror financing, hawala, fake currency, golden crescent. So you can create this. All right. And then you are going to explain that also. This is at the national level and transnational level. So you talk about national level linkages, national level linkages, and transnational level linkages. So national level linkage, what kind of linkages will be there? Cyber security. National level, cyber security, and this on the cyber platform, you will have terrorism along with drugs, along with what? Religious fundamentalism. At transnational levels, basically, it is with respect to the external security threats. It is with respect to the external security threats. So transnational levels. State-sponsored terrorism. All right. So these are there. So since you have talked a lot of things about a lot of negative things about organized crime and terrorism, so you'll have to give some suggestive measure before writing the conclusion. All right. So conclusion is what? Is a vision. How 10 years later it will look like, but we'll be giving the suggestive measure. World committees should come together for tackling the menace of this organized crime, with coordinated and collaborated effort. All right. And you can just go by simply writing that this will be a step. This will be a step for peaceful coexistence, and harmony in the world. Peaceful coexistence and harmony in the world. Clear and making sense? Next question. Look at this. What are the maritime security challenges in India? Discuss the organizational, technical, and procedural initiative taken to improve the maritime security. Look at this. UPSC is also asking, think in structure and give us in structure. All right. So, are we doing the same thing? Organizational, technical, and procedural initiatives? Why not? Yes. Well, we're saying maritime security challenges. So you'll say that India is having how much? Around 15,000 kilometer border, maritime border. How much? 7,500 or 15,000? 7,500 kilometers. So yes, right. 7,500 kilometers maritime border. 7,500 kilometers maritime border, which makes herself vulnerable, which makes herself vulnerable, which makes herself vulnerable for the maritime security challenges. And then you talk about maritime security challenges in India, maritime security challenges in India. And then you talk about what? Challenges with respect to demarcation. Challenges with respect to demarcation, specifically in the context of India and Sri Lanka. All right. Challenges with respect to external challenges and internal challenges. You can write like that. First, external security challenge and internal security challenge in maritime security challenge. So, external security like boundary demarcation. Boundary demarcation, what? India, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan. India, Pakistan, where? Sar Creek. All right. And in Bangladesh was also having the issue, but this Muria Island got submerged because of the climate change. All right. So, India, China, in Indian Ocean region through maritime belt, maritime Silk Route initiative, OBOR. All right. And then the internal challenges, and in external challenges, other challenges can also be written, such as piracy, and the problems. What happened with Enrica Lexi? You know about the Enrica Lexi? The boat problems with respect to the political demarcation or geopolitical UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on Law of Siege. All right. So territorial water, contiguous water, and economic exclusive zone. All right. So concerns with respect to Enrica Lexi. Okay. And maritime infiltration. You know that the terrorists which came during 26/11 came through what? Gujarat, Bombay region. From Creek region they entered. All right. So with respect to this, what did you say? Infiltration, maritime infiltration. All right. And then in internal challenges, you will say about that what? This illegal export, illegal import of drugs, because India on the southern side is lying very close to what? This Golden Triangle. Golden Triangle. Yes. ज्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाना है, सिंपल ठीक है. क्या करें first? You cannot just keep one point. So वैसे I can correlate a lot of current affairs, you know, from this. जब है तो clear point बोलिए ना. Why are you not clear on that point? So that's what we have told in Maritime Silk Route Initiative. देखो, हाँ. All right. So this is maritime security challenges, and then discuss the organizational measures. What are the organizational measures? Organizational measures, different organization. Indian Navy, Coast Guard, Indian Navy, Coast Guard, Ministry of Shipping and Corporation, and Ministry of Home Affairs. Technological, technical initiative. What will be technical? Or Ministry of Earth Sciences also. You talk about Ministry of Earth Sciences also. Technical initiative will be what? You can say about Sagar Netra. Different exercises. Or exercises, you can keep it for procedural. And use of drone technology, use of remote sensing technology in maritime border management. According to the Dr. Meena Kumar committee recommendation, all right, all the ships on this between India and Sri Lanka is being fitted with one alarm system. Once it crosses the border, maritime border of India, the alarm will automatically be alerting the ship.
Providing different batches for the ship.
So that's what is there now. So Dr. Meena Kumar committee report is indicating towards that. So that is technical. So what is the procedural initiative? So procedural are mock drills by the Coast Guard, Coastal Regulatory Zones, CRZ, creation of Coastal Regulatory Zones, United Nations Convention on Law of Siege, United Nations Convention on Law of Siege. All right. So these all are what? The procedural initiatives. Other initiatives you can also see the multiple collaborations in military exercises. For example, Malabar exercise, etc. All right. And then conclusion. What will be the conclusion? What will be the conclusion? Write down the conclusion. Conclusion is what? Maritime security. Maritime security is the basis. Is the basis. Maritime security is the basis for development or integrating India into the true blue economy. On the basis of maritime security, India will become the net security provider first, and then it will help in integrating herself into the blue economy. Next question, देखो. Economic growth in recent past has been led by increase in labor productivity. Explain this statement. Suggest the growth pattern that will lead to creation of more jobs without compromising labor productivity. All right. So देखो, कुछ नहीं. क्यों चाहिए ब्रेक? 10 क्वेश्चन के बाद 3 घंटा में ब्रेक लेना होता है क्या? ठीक है, come in 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes. Mind it. So, all right, guys. It is saying that so look at this, the question which is there with respect to labor productivity. Economic growth in recent past has been led by the increase in labor productivity. Explain this statement. So if I say about the economic growth, look at this. If I say about, there are three phases which I wanted to take from 1950s to 1990s and to the present phase. Just tendencies rise in labor productivity, except this COVID time. There will be a V-shaped recovery during the COVID time. And similarly, this is what? Labor productivity curve. And this is what? On the similar lines, you will have this what? GDP growth curve. This is what is being asked. Now, look at this. And this is a correct curve. It is not like that I'm just making examiner fool. It is not that case. All right. So economic growth is the recent past have been led by increase in labor productivity. Explain this statement. So we will say about how to explain this statement. How to explain this statement. So you'll say that labor productivity. You define labor productivity. Labor productivity is, the outcome with respect to the labor hour is more, or increasing outcome with respect to the labor hour. All right. And you will say about what? That the drivers of economic growth are land, labor, and capital. So labor are the important drivers of economic growth. All right. So increased labor productivity has increased economic growth in recent past. All right. But during COVID times, what? The labor productivity decreased because of the structural disruption in the form of lockdown. All right. Yet it recovered through what? V-shaped recovery. So you will say, you'll take up the case studies. This is not the explanation which is done. And medium scale enterprises, labor intensive industries such as leather industries, gem and jewelry industries, it has the productivity of these has increased. The food processing sectors has also productivity has increased. Cottage industries has increased productivity. All right. If we talk about this, the concept of this, what do you call it? Some small and medium scale enterprises, there also the labor productivity has increased, and that has increased their contribution in the economic growth potential. All right. So growth pattern that will be leading to creation of more jobs without compromising labor productivity. We'll have to suggest a growth pattern. So growth pattern for growth, what all you need? Number one, investment should be there. Then region perspective should be there. Investment sectors. So investment should be there. Nahi, I'm giving you structure on the basis of investment. So the investment should be there on infrastructure. Creation of infrastructure. Number one. So creation of more jobs. For creation of more jobs, you'll have there are two types of jobs which are there. You know, wage employment and what? Self-employment. Self-employment. All right. So without compromising labor productivity, you can focus upon wage employment. For wage employment, you can help the infrastructure creation, more policies like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India. For wage infrastructure. All right. Deen Dayal Upadhyay Shramib Jayate Karyakram. All right. So wage employment, for creation of wage employment, you'll have this. All right. For creation of wage employment, you'll have other things which has to be focused. That is the vocational training. Vocational training. All right. Focus upon labor intensive industries. All right. So, and you know, other points should be what? Focus upon, you know, the right kind of a skill development, right skill development. And this right skill development should be in line with this Industrial Revolution 4.0. What is this Industrial Revolution 4.0? Pushing, how it is pushing towards that. All right, Industrial Revolution 4.0, that means what? That means in the age of artificial intelligence, this right skill will be what? Recognized. And for self-employment, you'll have to promotion of cooperatives, self-help groups. All right. So for that, Ajivika scheme is there. All right. Stand up India, startup India, entrepreneurship culture, etc. These kind of things you should be writing. Mudra scheme, investment for growing the business opportunities, etc. All right. So did you understand about that? Suggest the growth pattern that will lead to creation of more jobs and without compromising the labor productivity. Now you have given for creation of jobs. So you talk about the growth focused upon balancing both investment in what? The hard infrastructure as well as the investment in human capital. So I told you about the growth pattern should be what? Not exclusively like what Gujarat is having and not exclusively like what Kerala is having. Rather a midway should be there. Are you understanding my point? So this is the growth pattern which is needed for the development of India. All right. And India should focus upon more manufacturing oriented industries to integrate herself into the supply chain, global supply chain market. All right. Next question. Do you think India will meet 50% of its energy needs from renewable energy by 2030? So I told you to start this with what? Energy mix, which is there. What is the energy mix? Did I tell you? Look at this. This is energy mix of India. All right. So you start. The present energy mix is coal is around 60%. You create this diagram of this chart. I told you at that time when I was taking the class that this will be used n number of times. So this is a very, very important diagram. All right, I have shown you in yesterday's paper also and in today's paper also 2 times this has been used. And the paper which is coming there, you'll have the corruption wheel and then 4 quadrant thing that will be used. I'm telling you in the beginning only, the matrices which will be used. All right, so which is coming, which we are going to discuss after 6. So look at this, the utility of the, the classes or utility of your the approach, how to approach things in the smart way. All right, so you will have to justify here that will India be able to achieve the 50% of the target from renewable energy by 2030? How do you think? So I'll say yes, I'll say no. What is yes? Because of India's progressive outlook towards energy diversification, India's global cooperation with Germany through International Solar Alliance. Yes, because of India's sustainable development goals for clean energy. Yes, because India's what? This new renewable energy targets which are there. Yes, because India's INDC commitment, which is indicating towards shifting paradigm from the conventional energy to renewable energy. All right, but no, why no? Because of what? The present day energy mix 60% dependence upon the coal, the technological lags with respect to the renewable energy sector. All right, dependencies on the what? Dependencies upon the developed countries for renewable energy technology, lack of funding with India, all right, and poor infrastructural support which is there. All right, so how will the shift of subsidies from fossil fuel to renewable will help achieve the above objective? Explain. So shifting subsidies from fossil to renewables. What is happening now? We are providing subsidies to solar panels manufacturers of solar panels. Are we giving subsidies? Yes. So these subsidies are increasing the domestic production of the solar panels and wind panels. Solar panels, wind panels. All right. So it will help in creation of renewable energy infrastructure. It will help this individual and household as a key stakeholder in what? In achieving the targets of renewable energy. All right. So infrastructure, skill development, for example, this through Solar Mama initiative, where the training will be there for Indians, which will be provided to Indian and African women for this solar panel repairing. So subsidies along with net metering. Every household will not just be the will be producing their own sufficient energy, but through net metering they will also be supplying. Every household will be the supplier of the renewable energy. Net metering. You know about net metering? Net metering जानते हो कि नहीं? Yes. You know that subsidy burden for government of India is what? Mainly in 3 things. What? Food, fuel, and fertilizer. All right. So the majority component of subsidy of fuel will be shifted towards renewable energy, will help in meeting the meeting this objective, this target. All right. So subsidies will also create awareness drive with respect to the renewable energy. Subsidies will create the awareness drive with respect to the renewable energy, and because of that awareness drive, there will be what? This will help in achieving the goals of renewable energy. So then conclusion. Energy diversification. Energy diversification from conventional to non-conventional, from fossil to renewable sources of energy, can make India self-reliant or can make India net energy exporter. Can make India net energy exporter. All right. समझ में आ रहा है? Next question. देखो. This question is very beautifully covered. What are the main bottlenecks in upstream and downstream processes of marketing of agricultural products in India? So agricultural marketing, forward linkages and backward linkages. What are the concerns? I told you. Institutional, infrastructural and extension services. It's such a beautiful structure. This will fit everywhere. So agricultural marketing, backward linkages, institutional factors is land fragmentation, fragmentation of land holdings, poor farm to what? Agriculture market connectivity. So that will be infrastructural. Poor post harvest management. So I gave you the structure here. Upstream and downstream processes. So here you'll have three things. I told you about institutional, I told you about infrastructural, I told you about what? Extension services. Did we talk about that? Did we talk about that? So what are the institutional? I told you about the land reforms basically. Infrastructure will be the quality of produce, the post harvest management, the storage, the refrigeration, irradiation, everything is there with respect to the infrastructural facilities. Extension services is what? Poor diffusion of innovation, poor levels of awareness, poor usage of science and technology, a poor technological advancement with respect to the farmers. Bottlenecks in upstream. Upstream will be what? Bottlenecks in upstream. Again, there will be institutional factors. There also institutional factors will be related to the lands. Not a huge amount of land will be allocated to this mega food parks. So economy of a scale because of the land fragmentation or land restrictions which are there. That is upstream. Infrastructural facilities will be what? The branding, packaging, sanitary and phytosanitary measures. Sanitary and phytosanitary measures, the value addition, the product diversity, competition from China, competition from GM crops, competition from China, Southeast Asia, GM crops, and technology. Technology wise, what? If I say the mega food parks to fork, the poor connectivity of mega food parks to fork. Fork means to the plate. Is the the produced product which is there, are they coming very smoothly to the plates? No, there are a lot of hurdles. Some of them are wastage which is there. So extension services here also will be what? Will be the technological advancement, levels of awareness, the diffusion of technology, etc. So conclusion, agricultural marketing, or you can say like this, that enhanced agricultural marketing can help India in early realization of dream of make in India, early realization of the dream of make in India. in the form of made in India product. The product will be made in India, and this made in India will be what? Will help India in integrating herself with the world economy. Did we talk about integrated farming system? Very clear. Did we not talk? Did I not tell you the person from IIT Bombay who is doing it in Mumbai? There are so many people who are coming into the integrated farming system. So what is integrated farming system? So the waste of one farming system will be used as the, the raw material for another farming system. So I'll say the fisheries, waste of it will be used as the raw material for the, let's say this cauliflower, or any other thing. So this is what? This is the integrated farming system. So one farming system is integrated. So integrated farming system is based upon the principle of zero wastage. Zero wastage. The byproduct of one farming system is used as the raw material for another farming system. So that is what? Integrated farming system. For example, poultry along with vegetables. Poultry, fishery and vegetables. Hota hai na? So this is what? Integrated farming system. You can say about that. Aquaculture and aquaponics. Why not? Aquaculture and aquaponics, hydroponics or aquaponics. Yes. So you will create a flow chart here. This question has the scope of creation of flow chart. All right. Can you create a flow chart? Poultry. What do you think that what will be the raw material? What will be the food for the poultry? The wheat or some of the fish bones which are there. All right. And the poultry waste will be there, will be used as organic manure in the field. So the poultry waste will be used as organic manure, and the the water in which the fishes are living, that will be what? That will be used as the fertilized water for the fields, and fish bones will be the what? Will be acting as the meal, will be helped in creation of the meals for home, bolo, for the poultry. All right. So then this is integrated farming system. So there are many number of people who are many number of youth who are coming and engaging themselves through integrated farming system. How it is helpful to small and marginal farmers in India? How it is helpful to small and marginal farmers of India? How? Bolo? In assured return, in creating a resilience, in what? Sustainable ecosystem, or the concept of permaculture can be practiced during this integrated farming system. Linkages with the the forward linkages with respect to home. Bolo. Forward linkages with respect to the food processing industries. Forward linkages with respect to the food processing industries. All right. So this is how it will be helpful for small and marginal farmers in India. So reduction of cost. Yes, crop diversification, agricultural diversification, product diversification. There are integrated farming in India which is coming up with the organic farming culture. So it is having the demands also. For example, what you were saying about the hydroponics along with the aquaculture. So that is what? That is a organic product. So this organic product will be visible. Clear? So conclusion, Conclusion, what will be the conclusion? What will be the conclusion? Next evergreen revolution. Next evergreen revolution should be focused upon not just increasing the yield, but also the product diversification. Or you can say not just product diversification, you can say the process, the integrated farming system, such as the integrated farming system. All right, full stop. Then you will say integrated farming system can help India in attaining its goal of doubling farmers' income sooner than later. Next question, look at this. Launched on 25th December 2021, James Webb Space Telescope. All right, James Webb Space Telescope has been in news since then. What are its unique feature which makes it superior to predecessor space telescopes? What are the key goals of this mission? What potential benefits does it hold for human race? Bolo. So what do you think that this mission of James Webb Space Telescope is what? James Webb Space Telescope is launched by NASA along with European Space Agency. It is considered as a successor of Hubble telescope. All right. So its unique features which make it superior to its predecessor telescope. What are the unique features? Yes. So it'll work within a wide wavelength, within a range of wide wavelength, 0.7 micron to 100 micron. All right. So wide wavelength spectrum, it will be working. All right. And it will be working in infrared region. Earlier, all other will be what? For example, Hubble telescope will see mainly in what? Ultraviolet region. But this James Webb telescope will be seeing in infrared region. All right. So diameter of the mirror of James Webb telescope will be bigger than that of Hubble telescope. It is around 6.5 meters and Hubble telescope is around 2.4 meters. So diameter of the mirror which is there. The sun shield which is there in James Webb telescope make it more advanced than that of its predecessor telescope. The distance which it can observe will help in understanding the first formed galaxies, exoplanets and starbirths. Etc. First formed galaxies. Okay. So these are the unique features which makes it superior from the previous telescope. What are the key goals of this mission? What are the key goals of this mission? All right. So goals will be what? to search for the galaxies, first galaxies, in determination of how galaxies evolved, evolution of galaxies, evolution of universe, formation of stars, to measure the physical and chemical property which is there in the planetary system. So these are the key goals. What potential benefit does it hold for human race? So potential benefit for what? Potential benefit. What potential benefit it can have? Finding the new Goldilocks zones. So creation of an alternate planet where the human race can survive. In research and development with respect to the astronomy, astronomical research and development. In prediction of various phenomena such as solar flares, and in prediction of phenomena which are there in the universe. All right. So these all can be, and other things will also be there. Space research, space technology. It will help in advancement of space technology, space research. Right. So conclusion. What is the conclusion? What is the conclusion? You can write here. So conclusion will be conclusion. James Webb Space Telescope. James Webb Space Telescope has potential to uplift our space research to the next level. All right. And it will become it becomes the basis. It becomes the basis for what? For creation of what? This. So for future space research. Clear? Eh? Next question. What is the principle behind vaccine development? What is the principle behind vaccine development? Can somebody tell about that? Bolo? Has this question been discussed with you? नहीं बोले? I'll show it to you. There are different vaccines which have been discussed with you. Look at this. Yeah, this is one of the vaccine, HGCO19 vaccine, modified RNA vaccine. So this is the technology which has been asked by Pune-based biotechnology company Genova Pharmaceuticals Limited. Okay, and then next is this what? Vaccine GycoVD. All right. So this is the Gyrus is also working in COVID-19 vaccine. All right. Look at this. Did we talk about this pneumococcal conjugate vaccine for cervical cancer? All right. So this is the pneumococcal conjugate vaccine. which is there. All right. So this is the Covishield and Covaxin difference. Two vaccines get emergency approval in India, and you show that this is inactivated vaccine derived from a strain of SARS-CoV-2 virus, and this is what chimpanzee adenovirus vector. All right. So the question now come to the question. Now come to the question. Look at this question. What is the basic principles behind vaccine development? What are the basic principles? So there are two types of things which are indicated by this question. All right. Principles with respect to disease, with respect to the nation. All right. And principles with respect to the technology. So what is the technological principles behind this this vaccine development? So you'll have to say from inactivated this virus, or from attenuated virus, and from semi-attenuated virus. The vaccines will be developed on semi-attenuated virus, or conjugate vaccines will also be there. Modified RNA vaccines will be there, and then vaccines on the basis of the vector which is there. So these are the technological principles behind the development of this vaccine. What do you mean by attenuated virus? Attenuated means it is killed, the virus is killed. All right. And semi-attenuated means it is half killed. It is half killed. So the different vaccines are made upon, or some of the body parts of the virus, some of the RNA of the virus has been taken, and on the RNA is modified into creation into the vaccine. And some RNA is taken, and the conjugate of that, the corresponding to that, the different RNA strand will be created, and on the basis of that, the vaccine will be created. That is what? Conjugate vaccine virus. All right. So these are the principles behind vaccine development, but these are the technological which we talked. Why do you want principle behind vaccine development? Is prevention is better than cure. You do not miss that aspect. Prevention is better than cure. Reduction of health expenditure per capita, because you are a generalist, you are not expected to be a scientist. All right. So as a scientist, you have given some of the information, but as a generalist, you'll also have to give the information. Prevention is better than cure. This principle of what? Reduction of per capita expenditure, or principle of what? Reduction of burden for secondary and tertiary treatment. How do vaccines work? How do vaccines work? So vaccines will be going into the body. Vaccines will be going into the body, and it will help the body creating antibody against the disease. And the creation of antibody will be what? Creation of antibody will be help the body in fighting with that particular disease. Examples, you can write the examples. There's so many vaccines which are there. Do we have the vaccines with respect to COVID? You have na Covaxin and Covishield. All right. What approaches were adopted by Indian vaccine manufacturers to produce COVID-19 vaccines? So what approaches? There are two main vaccines which were probably produced in this, and one is the Covishield, another one is Covaxin. So which one is modified RNA? Covishield. All right. And then Covaxin will be what? Covaxin will be what? From the attenuated one. Yes. So these two principles will be followed by the Indian manufacturers. Look at this. This is inactivated vaccine from a strain of SARS-CoV-2 virus. All right. And Covishield is this modified RNA virus. All right. So with its efficacy will be better. Covishield efficacy will be better. All right. So conclusion. What will be the conclusion? What will be the conclusion for this particular topic? So conclusion for this will be what? What will be the conclusion? Conclusion you can write like, the vaccine development. Vaccine development. Is the future of healthcare. Is the future of healthcare. All right. Or you can say recent crisis because of the COVID has highlighted the needs of vaccine development on the priority basis. So government should proactively, integrate or divert her funds towards vaccine development. Divert her funds towards vaccine development. All right. Next question. Discuss global warming and mention its effects on the global climate. Explain the control measures to bring down the level of greenhouse gases which causes global warming in the light of Kyoto Protocol 1997. So I have given you that IPCC diagram. This diagram is there, na? Global climate. What is happening? What is happening? That extended summer answering the winter, which is there. That is happening across the globe, not just in India. All right, you are witnessing now. 10 years back, remember, will we have so much of extended summer? Now we have got 10 months of summer and probably 1 month of winter. All right, this is the situation which has happened in India. So you talk about global warming or IPCC special report recently. IPCC special report recently has raised the warning against global warming, warning to world communities against global warming phenomena. All right. It has if you wanted to extend, then you can also state that it has or global warming has what do you say? Or IPCC report has warned to reduce the temperature levels by 2 degrees Celsius from pre-industrial level, or 1.5 degrees Celsius, that is on mandatory basis, 2 degrees Celsius on voluntary basis. So you will have to answer this first question, discuss global warming. So global warming, you discuss global warming. They'll say, what global warming? Global warming presently is happening mainly because of natural as well as anthropogenic regions. You give the chart for the region. That is one part of the discussion. And then you start saying that this IPCC, according to IPCC report, anthropogenic regions are aggravating incidences of global warming. Aggravating instances of global warming. All right. Then its effects upon global climate. So did we talk about the effect upon global climate, the positive impact and negative impact? Positive impact and negative impact. What will be the positive impact? Positive impact, temperate region, polar region will be more habitable. More habitable. No, ice free, ports will be there. So the climate of the polar region will be relatively lesser harsh, but at the same time, the climate of equatorial and temporal region, sorry, tropical region, subtropical region will be what? Extremely harsh condition will be there. So have I discussed that? Positive impact and negative impact. I'll tell you about the erratic weather pattern. Let me talk about the El Nino, frequency of El Nino and La Nina. Indian Ocean dipole. All right. So this is what? Its impacts on global climate. We'll have two types of impacts. Positive impact as well as negative impact. Do not miss to write positive impacts. All right. People miss to write positive impacts. All right. Explain the control measures to bring down the level of greenhouse gases, which causes global warming in the light of Kyoto Protocol. So Kyoto Protocol had different mechanisms. Yeah, I told you, joint liability, CBDR, combined with differentiated responsibility, carbon credit mechanism, carbon trading. All these mechanisms will be there. But Kyoto Protocol expired when? 2015. And post Kyoto Protocol regime, we are in Paris climate change. So through that CBDR, we have upgraded it to climate justice. It is now climate justice regime. All right. And Paris climate change will also have two components. Kyoto Protocol was what? The mandatory binding agreement. But it will have this what? The binding as well as non-binding agreement. All right. And through this Kyoto, on the basis of Kyoto Protocol, on the basis of the trend set up by the Kyoto Protocol, we are having this INDC commitments. We are having this international cooperation, which is visible in the recent Glasgow summit in the form of climate justice. You'll see. And then why not? You will be able to write about this. Noam Chokshi, I have given you the name. Noam Chokshi, bole hai na, has highlighted that the humanity will have the major threat from climate change, global warming. Noam Chokshi is the professor of MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. हाँ, yes, बोल. You have to take it till the what is happening on the basis of the Kyoto. Kyoto was the benchmark because it's brought a lot of new concepts such as joint liability, CBDR, and that was a very progressive concepts. So Noam Chokshi highlighted again raised the warning that next threat to humanity will be because of what? Because of the climate change. All right. So this is how you can write. And then conclusion. Did I talk about this IIT Kharagpur study? The recent study in IIT Kharagpur has indicated that the decline of Indus Valley civilization. Look at this, how beautifully you are correlating. All these things has been talked. Indus Valley civilization was declined. Why? Because of the climate change. This indicates the potential, this raises an alarm for the human being. This raises an alarm for the human being for work together and put the additional effort. For making the earth green, sky blue and ocean clean. Examiner ko bhi lagega ki in the pressure also you are able to create some very good language. What you have done? You have already remembered all these things. These are the languages which you have remembered earlier. Now you go there, you arrange it and present it. He will be very happy. Okay, you're writing something which is very, very relevant. So that is the smart preparation. That is what is the smart preparation which I'm talking about. Things you prepare, you should be able to use that. So look at this. Look at this in paper 3. Whatever we prepared, are we able to use that? Be it agriculture diagram, be it energy sector, be it the internal security thing. We are able to use that. Everything is being used. All right. Next question. Explain the causes and effects of coastal erosion in India. What are the available coastal management techniques for combating this hazard? What is happening in coastal erosion? What is happening in coastal erosion? Coastal erosion. What do you mean by this coastal erosion? Is it a problem? Is it a pandemic? Is it a problem? Yes, it is a problem. That's why UPSC has asked. So you write first, you identify the areas where the coastal erosion is there. So all the coastal areas of India will be vulnerable to coastal. So create a map of India. I'll say again, with 7,500 kilometers of coastline, it makes what? India highly vulnerable to coastal erosion. And immediately after that, you will be saying about this coastal erosion. So create a coastal erosion map across the India. Where do you think that the maximum coastal erosion will be there? Maximum. The areas which are highly developed. All right. So Bombay, Goa, all right, Chennai, these regions where human activity is more, you'll have the maximum coastal erosion. All right. So you'll say that high, moderate to high, and moderate to low. Some of the moderate to low areas of coastal erosion will be what? I'll come to that. We will come to causes, na? We'll come to causes, then you will understand. To prevent the coastal erosion. So that is the infrastructure. That is the coastal, that is the infrastructure way. So think systematically, na? I'll come to that. Wait. Ruko jara. Dekho. So causes. What will be the causes of coastal erosion? So in India map, can you create moderate to high and moderate to low? Moderate to low regions. West Bengal, Tamil Nadu region will be moderate to low regions. All right, Kerala region will be moderate to low regions. So then you will be talking about what? The regions for coastal erosion will be what? Of two types, causes of two types. Natural causes, anthropogenic causes. What are the natural causes? What are the natural causes? Tides, tsunami, sea level rise. Anthropogenic causes, what? Land reclamation. So there's a sand, extraction of sand from coastal region. Sand extraction or extraction of building materials from the coastal region. Construction in the coastal area. Degradation of mangrove forest or reclamation of mangrove forest. So all these are the regions for the coastal erosion. What are the effects of coastal erosion in India? Effects of coastal erosion in India. I'll say effects with respect to the coastal environment and then hinterland. There are two types of effect. So I'll tell the coastal environment, hinterland, and the marine ecosystem. Three regions, three areas you will have the impacts. So if we talk about, do we have any impact of coastal erosion on the marine ecosystem? Do we have any impact? Yes. It will habitat and niche fragmentation for the marine ecosystem. Example, Aribada. What is Aribada? Olive ridley turtle nesting pattern will be damaged to Aribada. That is the example. All right. And then you can talk about the what? In the coastal region, what will be happening in the coastal region? Degradation of mangroves because of the coastal erosion. Degradation of mangroves. more vulnerability for inundation or floods. More vulnerability for inundation or floods. All right. Threats to the coastal infrastructure like coastal lagoons, coastal islands, beach, reduction in tourism, coastal tourism, reduction in coastal tourism. And this further makes coastal area vulnerable to, susceptible to pollution. Hinterland, what will be hinterland? So change in base level of the rivers will shift the rivers, creating new flood prone zones and new drought prone zones. So if you are writing like this, trust me, nobody there will be writing like this. Means I'm not talking about the 1 or 2% who are exception. All right. So you will have to talk like this. So when you discussed the causes and effects of coastal erosion, available coastal management technique for combating this hazard, available coastal management techniques. So you write about what? Infrastructural, the institutions which are present. There are different things. Infrastructural, we talk about infrastructural, institution, then policies, civil society organization, geopolitical. देखो 1 or 2 everywhere. Infrastructural, what? जैसे Bombay Marine Drive, there are, you know, the concrete blocks have been created in tripod lines, है ना? So why that has been placed? For reducing coastal erosion. More than tourism, it is more important for reducing coastal erosion. So coastal infrastructure will be created. You go to Digha beach in the West Bengal. Digha beach in West Bengal. There also you will find waste in the coastal area to prevent the coastal erosion. All right. So institution, what are the institutions? Ministry of Earth Sciences, Indian Navy, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. All these things are their policies. Coastal regulatory zone policies. Coastal regulatory zone policies about prevention of constructions. Civil society organization, Afroz Shah and Barsova beach cleaning. You know about that? Barsova beach cleaning, Afroz Shah. Geopolitical, you'll have London Convention for reducing marine pollution and thereby preventing the London Convention and UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on Law of Siege, etc. Conclusion will be what? Marine ecosystem. Our marine ecosystem, you say marine ecosystem provides the complements or complementary approach for the resources available on the surface. Or marine resources are complementary to the resources available on the surface. Marine resources are complementary to the resources available on the surface. All right. So our approach towards marine environment protection and conservation, our approach towards marine environment protection and conservation should be based upon what? you can say environment centric approach. Should be environment centric approach. Should be environment centric approach based upon name. Should be environment centric approach. Or you can say should be based upon Gaia hypothesis. So again, Gaia hypothesis you will have to explain. So that's why I cut it short to this. Next question. What are the different elements of cyber security? This is a very, very simple question. Has been covered several times. What do you understand by cyber security? Look at this one. Can you see these are the elements of cyber security? What are the elements? Information security, application security, end user security, data recovery or disaster recovery, or network security. These are the elements of cyber security. Keeping in view challenges in cyber security, examine the extent to which India has successfully developed a comprehensive national cyber security strategy. So did I talk about it? Constitutional, legal, institutional, infrastructural, geopolitical measures. Constitutional will be Article 21, right to privacy, case Puttaswamy judgment. Legal will be IT Act 2013, CDAC, cyber security policy wise it will be cyber security policy or cyber Swachhta Kendra, this hackathon, this cyber hackathon which is there, and then the MIT is the nodal agency for looking after the cyber security, and then you'll have the geopolitical, like Department of Homeland Security, along with what? Department of Home Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs, for skill development with respect to cyber security paradigm. So this is all what we have done, yet there are digital divide. There are bureaucratic inertia, there are structural challenges, there are operational challenges, and there are citizen specific challenges. Yehi to question hai, that's all. Can you see that? What are the different elements of cyber security? You'll start beginning that India is moving towards industrial revolution 4.0, which is on the basis of connectivity in the virtual world. पढ़ने का inherently मन नहीं करता है क्या? अंदर से motivation होना चाहिए. You should have the drive from inside for study. गर्मी, ठंडा, बरसात does not matter. UPSC preparation is a different type of preparation altogether. ठीक है, चलो पहले इसको खत्म कर लें, फिर आपको ज्ञान देंगे. ठीक है. So where we started that we are moving towards industry 4.0. India is connected in virtual space. More we are connected, more we are vulnerable. This has been talked to you. This has been told to you. More we are connected, more we are vulnerable for cyber security threats. And there will be what? Elements of cyber security. Then you will be talking about this: application security, end user security, data security, network security, information security. You know about that. You will be talking about that. And then India's effort or India's preparedness. For India's preparedness, you are going to talk about this one. Look at this. I'll show you. याद है कि नहीं है? Did we talk about that? देखो, cyber security government efforts. We have very clearly mentioned you. Constitutional Article 21 gives Puttaswamy case, Legal ID Act Section 2000, ID Act 2008, Section 66A, Shreya Singhal case, policy, National Cyber Security Policy, infrastructures which will be created like National Cyber Critical Infrastructure Protection CERT in CDAC, Cyber Hackathon, Cyber Swachhata Kendra, Institutional CERT in and CDAC. All right. International Department of Homeland Security plus Home Ministry and others like civil society organizations which will be working. All right. So despite that, despite all these, you'll have various cyber security threats which are present. Because it is asking to what extent government is ready to tackle the cyber security threats. Look at the question. Examine the extent to which India has successfully developed a comprehensive national cybersecurity strategy. So this is the administrative measure, government. All right. But what about the social perspective of digital divide? What about the bureaucratic perspective of this bureaucratic inertia? What about the poor levels of skills? What about the poor it is creating technological dependence on the developed countries? All these are the negative points with respect to the cybersecurity. All right. And then you will be saying, all right, Indian government, and then you'll have to give your own opinion because it is asking about to what extent it is there. So you'll say Indian government is progressively working towards what? Development of a comprehensive national cybersecurity policy or a strategy, comprehensive national cybersecurity strategy. All right. And for that, India is collaborating with government is collaborating with private sector, civil society organization, and the countries which are outside countries also, outside nations also. So then you will have to write the conclusion. All right. India can, the goals of net security provider, goals of India becoming the net security provider should be on the basis of India's management of internal security and external security threats. India's management of internal security and external security threats, which should be on the basis of cyber space management with a comprehensive cyber security strategy. Next question. Naxalism is a social, economic, and developmental issue manifesting as the violent internal security issue and suggest multi-layered strategy to tackle the menace of Naxalism. Direct hit. end-to-end coverage of this question is there in the class. I told you about Jal, Jangal, Jameen. I told you about Pasupati to Tirupati. These are the phrases which I told you about the with respect to the Naxalism. All right. So emerging issues with respect to Naxalism will be what? The organized crime, urban Naxals sympathizers. The issues of urban Naxals, emerging issues. Political power capture, geopolitical, internal security is mixing with external security. China is funding that. All right, Naxalism. So, emerging issues, use of cyberspace by Naxalism, use of technology by Naxalism. All right. Suggesting a multi-layered strategy. So, did we talk about the multi-layered strategy with respect to the Naxalism? Why not? Bullet for bullet. And then what? We talked about bullet for bullet strategy along with the persuasive strategy. So that is the multi-layer approach. Just a second, I'll show it to you. Look at this. Did you talk about this? Government effort for left-wing extremism. So this is multi-layered, constitutional, 5th schedule, 6th schedule, Panchayati Raj institutions, legal, UAP, FRA, PESA, MG is very indirect, LARR is very indirect. All right. But policy, there are two types of policies which should be there. That is deterrence policy, and then integration policy. All right. So deterrence policy, you'll have the core and sympathizers and standby. All right. So standby can be dealt by the development activities and sympathizers. This is the multi-layered policy only, direct hit. Sympathizers should be effective graded reaction mechanism and psychological management, and core will be bullet for bullet approach. For that, you will have the CRPF, Cobra Battalion, Bastaria Battalion, Greyhound Forces, a modernization of police that should be there. All right. And air integration should be liberal surrender policy, sensitization of police, such as civic action program, Samadhan doctrine of or Samadhan policy of this, our honorable Prime Minister. All right. Pota cabins by OP Chaudhary, others, and technology, creation of mobile towers, all India radios. And for that, I have also given this, government should focus more upon increasing brain force than battalion force. The power of a spirit or soul should be focused more than that of power of guns. And trust emanating from development can check extremism of any kind. That is Modi ji. That is our honorable Prime Minister. And this is how you can conclude. So, bole na, end-to-end coverage of this question is there. Happened, done. Dekho, Jal, Jangal, Jameen, all these things are there. That how these are different, happening in different phases. Clear, eh? So this is your paper number 3 discussion. How do you find this paper? This paper, people will score 140. Mind it. People will score 140 because except 10 marker, 110 marker, 240 marks paper. 60% of 240. जोड़ो कितना होता है? CSAT कहाँ गए? This is 144. So minimum you'll say topper will be around 144, 145 or 150. Around you can touch 150 also. All right. And if you wanted to be in top 10%, then you will have to score 130, around 130 marks, 130 plus marks. 130, 132. Because this is an easy question. This is an easy paper. Paper 1 was slightly on the tougher side. All right. Paper 2 was again easy. Paper 3 is super easy. Paper 4 will be lengthy, but not easy. Sorry, easy, but lengthy. It is coming now, na? देखो बड़ा बड़ा comprehensions आएगा. If you fail to understand those comprehensions in one go, over. और मतलब पढ़ाई में मन लगाइए, है ना? Try to have the drive from inside. My purpose of doing is not doing any stunt. I'm not doing any stunt. I'm showing it to you that you can do that. You can manage it by your own. Do we have any kind of solution present in front of us? No. Did I prepare much about these things? No. Whatever the preparation is there, whatever I have explained you in the class, with that only you can go and create wonders. All right. So next discussion will be on 6 p.m. paper number 4. Okay. Please be on time. All right. See you all.